shalom, or I guess I should say konnichiwa.
Or dzień dobry in Polish.
In Polish, what was that?
Dzień dobry.
Cześć.
Cześć is the simple one. It's like hi in Polish.
I'll let Chris handle the Polish hello. I haven't mastered that one yet, but I'm out here with my friend Chris on Governor's Island. Basically just taking the day easy, just exploring, see what all Governor's Island has to offer. So Chris is originally from Poland, but he moved to Tokyo, Japan 4 years ago to make videos, make a production company, live life.
Yes. I co-own a video production company in Tokyo, and I'm in New York City for a few weeks now.
Yeah. So just hanging out and exploring, making videos. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. We just went into Castle Williams, which I didn't read a whole lot about it, but essentially it is a previous prison out here on Governor's Island. And right by Castle Williams is a ice skating rink in the middle of the summer. Maybe, well, it's here. It doesn't appear there's actual ice though. Yeah, definitely not ice, just plastic. I mean, there's not ice, but they are renting skates. I mean, they're open. Let's need to figure out what this is about. Cannot believe that it actually works. Not getting a solid glide out of it, but I mean, they're on ice skates. It's working.
Oh, this is nice. It's so big.
I brought Chris over to Hammock Grove. Check it out. It is a very cute, picturesque scene, but once you actually lay down on one of these hammocks with the beating sun, you're done in a good, I would call that a 10 seconds before you were done. Kind of like my wedding night. Made it to the southern end of the island. Gonna do a bit of rock climbing.
And now I have to come back and get the camera.
Have to hike it twice to get the shot, but worth it. We've made it to the very top of Governor's Island, the highest point. We haven't seen...
It's not much of a climb.
Yeah.
You sound like you're bragging about it, but
Oh, I'm bragging. I am sweating. We've made it all the way up here. We've ascended a good 100 feet. So, yeah. We should have brought our oxygen tanks. It's getting hard to breathe up here in this altitude.
Yeah. It's rough.
If you didn't see Sarah and I's Governor's Island video, that's actually linked right here. But we talked about this junkyard that kids can just go in and destroy stuff. We've got some ominous clouds moving in over Manhattan.
This is called foreshadowing. Foreshadowing happens when clues in a story hint at future events.
Food options on Governor's Island are pretty lackluster when it comes to vegetarian options. Only saw basically a veggie burger at this place. Everywhere else is all meat-based, but got something. Thank you. Finished my veggie burger. Chris got a chicken salad that he did not rave about.
Well, it's just chicken had so much ketchup on it, it barely had any chicken left. And the salad has so much vinegar, it was just so sour. I don't mean to complain, I don't want to sound picky, but it's a bit too much flavoring.
Yeah, interesting thing that he was telling me is that in Japan, the flavors are very subtle, and you have to like search for the flavor, find the flavor. So coming to America is like a flavor punch in the face. So living in Tokyo for 4 years now, what's like one of the most surprising things that you think about Tokyo or Japanese living that would be surprising to a mostly American audience?
Well, I think Tokyo specifically, it's got really a lot of crazy things happening. Like you can see people like dressed up in weird outfits in the streets, and you know, like there's something crazy happening every single day in Tokyo, and when you live there, you kind of become desensitized to it. So, like for example, a very common thing is to see Mario Kart in the streets. So there are companies doing like Mario Kart experience. You rent a group of go-karts and you like just dress up as Mario and like drive around the area. And it's a very touristy thing, and I see it maybe 3 or 4 times a day. Wow. So it's like, for me, the guy dressed up in a Mario suit in a go-kart in the street, I don't even notice it anymore. It's just like the normal traffic in my head. So this is the type of stuff that Tokyo kind of throws at you every single day, and you kind of stop noticing it after some time.
Okay, so I don't know if I'll use this for the video, but this brought up an interesting conversation, or an interesting question I have is, so when Logan Paul came to Japan and he, went into a gift shop and he bought a Pokemon character and he ran around the streets of Tokyo throwing Pokeballs at cars, he was accused of that being culturally insensitive. As somebody who now has been a part of Japanese culture for 4 years, do you think that the Japanese people and yourself feel that is culturally insensitive?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. This is opening a whole box of things I can say, but I think with Logan Paul, I think the problem with what he did was mostly with his interaction with passerbys and the people not involved in the video, because Japanese people they're super sensitive about each other's privacy and the kind of mutual respect in the public space. So you never bother anybody. It's like a golden rule. For example, we as a production company, we do. Let's say we're doing location management. We're renting out a restaurant for a shoot. And the main concern of the restaurant is that no other customer can ever be bothered by the fact that there's a shoot. So possibly we have to rent it outside of normal opening hours, stuff like that. People go to great lengths to not inconvenience other customers. And it's just like a solid foundation upon which Japan is built, right? So this is the problem, I think. I mean, just dressing up in a funny outfit, it's okay. I mean, I don't think people would be offended by that. Well, the problem there was that he went to a temple like that, which, okay, it is a bit much maybe, like when it comes to religious things, you have to be kind of respectful.
Yeah. But do you feel like his argument on that is valid, that it's not necessarily culturally insensitive, it's just insensitive?
No, I disagree with that, because I think not bothering other people, it's a pinnacle of Japanese culture. Like, if you disrespect that, you are disrespecting Japanese culture, because it's a very important element of the culture itself. So I wouldn't write it off as, you're just being rude. It's not against the culture. It's the culture of politeness. It's a stereotype that's very much true. The Japanese people, they're super polite. They're very preoccupied about each other. When you think about how compact of a city Tokyo is, for example, and how big the crowds are, like these people have to behave strictly going by some social rules, or else this entire situation would just fall apart, right? For me, this is interesting being here, because the crowds here are considerably smaller than in Tokyo, but then they're much more intense in the sense that somebody's shouting, somebody's dancing, somebody's people are
everybody's out for themselves.
And people are like bothering each other all the time. They don't mind in general. It's more of a socially accepted thing here. But in Japan, it's like everybody wants to be invisible and wants to be. The worst thing you can do is to bother somebody. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, because for us, it doesn't sound like much of a thing, right? I mean, okay, this person got bothered for a few seconds, big whoop, right? But it is a thing for them. It's just a thing in Japanese culture. So I think, doing all these things like he left a fish on a car, he threw a ball at somebody, and like even filming without permission when you're zooming on people's faces, this is considered very unsensitive and rude in Japan.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, people get away with stuff, of course, and there are a lot of foreigners who come to Japan. They film things that are on the border of politeness, and people kind of accept that, because it's also not like every foreigner is always expected to know all these Japanese rules. They are being reasonable with it. And also the problem for Japan is that in Japan people don't generally approach you to like scold you about things, right? They just politely take it, and they take offense in silence with dignity, right? And so with people like Logan Paul that kind of exploit that, it's a problem because you can be in this situation where you think what you're doing is okay because nobody's like telling you to get out and stop, and you think you're being accepted, but really you're not. Because
if he was in New York, somebody would immediately be like, stop, you're being a douche, stop. Like,
exactly, right? And this is what he's been saying, that, you know, people in Japan, they're being so nice. Well, it's not like that. They're being nice, but they I think PewDiePie said it, and I agree with that. You know, they're being nice, but they're still thinking you're an asshole. Because they obviously see it. It's not like they're blind. They have this social convenance of not breaking their face.
Wow, good answer.
Well, it's an interesting subject, really. You know, I've had a lot of thoughts about Logan Paul's presence in Japan, and well, obviously for me as a foreigner based in Japan, this was something that, well, it didn't like change my life, but this came up in my life in many situations. At some point I was even giving TV interviews in Japan because they just wanted like other foreign YouTubers based in Japan to kind of speak out to defend the image of YouTubers. So if you're a YouTuber based in Tokyo, this kind of hits your PR, right? Because from then, every single time you're gonna have to explaining, well, I'm a YouTuber, I do YouTube, but it's nothing like Logan Paul. You kind of have to start putting this disclaimer when you introduce yourself. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
This is my camera,
right?
and I'm out here vlogging, but don't worry, I'm not gonna put a fish on your car.
Well, so I'm exaggerating, but it is kind of true as well, that you have to keep these things in mind. So I guess all the foreign YouTubers based in Japan, they were kind of pissed at Logan Paul for doing what he did, because it did hit us in the sense of, you know, hit our collective reputation of YouTuber. You know, I guess also everybody had a spike in views thanks to that, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, drama creates views.
A lot of people just found channels about Japan that are good using this opportunity, right? There were a lot of people who were like, well, don't watch Logan Paul's videos from Japan, watch this guy and this guy and this guy, right? So I happen to be one of these people, maybe, for some people, so that's good. That was a good time for me in terms of new users.
Cool, well, we're gonna keep exploring the island. We've seen most of it, but we'll keep walking. It is starting to rain, so we are briskly walking back to the ferry.
How often does the ferry go?
I think the ferry. I think it's every 30 minutes after noon.
Okay.
Yeah. We've made it to the ferry loading area, and it is properly raining now. And there's no ferry in sight, so I think we're just going to be standing here in the rain waiting. We found a small roof that we can wait under.
They don't charge tickets this way.
The boat is here and we are loading, but it is fully raining. Okay, we made it back over to Manhattan. Chris and I are gonna go our separate ways. Chris, what do you do? Where can they find you?
My name is Krzysztof Gonciarz, which I'm sure we're gonna have to spell it out for you. It is a bit difficult. I make a lot of types of videos, just travel, Japan, lifestyle, just daily vlogging of life. Having a production company in Japan, so a lot of professional advice, I guess. And you can find me mostly on YouTube, and I'm sure you're gonna kindly link my channel somewhere.
It'll be in the description. It is in Polish, so you'll need to know Polish.
That's a huge disclaimer. It's in Polish. Don't get too excited. No, we sometimes do have English subtitles, and sometimes there's an episode in English. This also sometimes happens. So,
Cool. All right, well, thanks for inviting me to Governor's Island with you.
Thank you very
It was a
much.
good time. Enjoyed it. Even the rain felt nice. We were hot and sweaty, so
It was very nice.
good time. And that's going to be the end of today's venture. I'm getting on the subway and heading home. So if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're not, I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this channel. You can also check out my wife and I's podcast. It's called Deeply Curious at podcast.codyjensen.com. Make sure to check out Chris in the description, and we'll see you in the next one.